What's up? Hey, what is happening, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thank you guys for stopping by again. So like I told you in the previous video, I was going to show you guys what these changes that I have planned and that I have already begun. So what are they? First of all, I am sick and tired of doing water changes. So I have got to get this automated. So let's go around and let's look at some of the different things that I am doing and are planning on doing to start making my life easier. Okay, so if you guys remember, on all of my aquariums, well, pretty much all my aquariums, I have just a siphoning system that was set up on the back where it's got a gate valve. You turn it on and let water out. And if you remember, whenever you look back behind all of these aquariums, it was a mess of all of those PVC tubes. And if you come back here now, you'll notice that all of those PVC tubes are gone. Now, every single tank that you see back here has got a bulkhead on it and an overflow. Every single one of these tanks, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we got 30 10-gallon tanks on here already that we are doing automatic water changes on. If you look at each one of them, I've got I think it's a 3/4 inch bulkhead on each one. And then on the inside, I just simply have see if we can get a better picture here. I've just got another elbow that's coming out, and so it just simply drains off the top of that elbow. The water that's added in is added in really, really slow. So most of them, I don't have any type of guard over that hose or over that elbow because the water just barely trickling over. So the chance of a fish going down it are about slim and impossible. So if you look at the way that I did it, so we've used the exact same elbow out of the back of it. It's just screwed into this bulkhead. Both ends of this bulkhead, both are threaded. And then I've added a hose barb here that's threaded into this elbow, which makes this thing really easy to take apart if I have any problems. And then I have just some flexible hose that's attached to it that goes down in here into either an elbow or a T. And what I did to keep it from splashing or overflowing is I just put a little short piece of 1/2 inch PVC that this flexible hose goes down into. And then each one of these are set at an angle. You can see this one angles down, goes down to that main one, and then goes down into the normal drain that I have that drains out through the sump pump. So every one of these aquariums are now done this way. These are all finished on this side. I still have room. Not exactly sure what I'm doing. I still have room to put 6 more tanks down here at the bottom, if that's what I choose to do. I'm kind of tired of my 10-gallon tanks now. I want bigger ones, so I don't know what I'm doing with that. All I know is I spent a lot of time on them, so I'm not selling them, but don't know exactly what the plan is. And so these tanks over here are not set up that way yet, but they are in the process. So if you'll notice this stand that I have built over here, this stand is built out of cinder blocks. And these cinder blocks take up way, way too much space. And also, what I was told by my brother, who's an engineer, that I did not put these together right. That when you put cinder blocks together, you're supposed to turn the cinder block the other direction. That's where it gets its strength. It doesn't have as much strength this way. And I know you guys are thinking, Jason, did it really take an engineer for you to know that? Well, apparently so, because I had no idea. Because I liked it like this. Look, I've got all this nice storage space where I can put all kind of things. Let's look over here. See, we got all kind of cool storage spaces. So I am working on taking this down. So what I have over here, this stand I just built about 3 or 4 days ago. This is a 20-gallon long stand that will hold 4 aquariums. You can see right here, I've got one that I've transferred over. This was the tank that used to be up here that I've moved here. I've got this tank just ready, just put it in there today. So I'm going to drain that tank into there. then I'll put a tank on top, and then I'll put another tank on bottom. I've already got a drainage system set up in the back. It's pretty tight, so it's kind of hard to see. If you look up there at the top, you can see that PVC hanging out up there. So those are all going to be drilled with overflows also. So now I can be in the process of tearing down this entire cinder block section. And so you ask, Jason, what are you going to do with it? Well, I don't know. I'm in love with this look down here now. At this 40-gallon with all these cardinals in it, with the plants and stuff. Yes, I've fallen in love with plants, and I'm ready to do almost all my tanks in some way, shape, or form. Planted aquariums, fertilizer, all of that. So, don't know exactly where I'm going with it, but that's sort of the semi-plan. Oh, let's talk about one other thing I didn't discuss, and that is how am I getting water to all of these tanks. So what is the automatic? So if you look in each one of them, you'll see these are real temporary right now because I don't have lids on them. You'll see that black hose that's hanging out right there, and it's got a dripper on it. So every one of these tanks has it's like the ice maker line, like the 1/4 inch, I can't think what you call the stuff. But that's what all of it is running off of. And then each one of them has a 1/2 gallon dripper in it. You can see it real well in that one right there. You can actually see the dripper itself. That dripper will only release a 1/2 gallon per hour. Now the thing is, right now I have so many aquariums hooked up to it that I don't even think it's releasing that much because the pressure is not enough for it. So the pump that I have, you guys may have seen in another video, this is actually a pump that I used to use for my chameleons misting system. So this is the actual pump. I think it's a 75 PSI pump. And it's a dry pump, so it can suck, even if it gets air in it, it'll suck water back up in it again, so you don't have to worry about when it actually goes dry. So you see this going into the wall, so you're saying, okay, Jason, where are you getting water from? Well, you remember before, I had the 40-gallon trash cans that I was getting water from. Well, now I'm finally getting rid of those and getting those out of the way. So let's come out here to the garage. Excuse the mess while we're coming out here because I've got a lot of projects going. You can see I got a whole bunch of tanks here, tins that I'm working on drilling also. And then we come over here, and here's where the water is. This is a 150-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank. So this thing right now I'm having to fill up about every 3 days, add prime to it. That's what that PVC that's coming in right there. I'll show you inside how I hook that up and fill water up to it. It's really easy. So 150 gallons, which right now is just about enough, but I may have to get another one and build a stand and put it on top of it so I can have more water. So let's go back inside and let's look as I almost trip. As you can see right here, see all those? Those are all of those siphons that I had on all those aquariums that I've now moved out here. That now I just cut PVC pieces off that I need off of it that are usable. So right here, here's how we get water to it. This is the pipe that connects outside. So I take the water hose that I have in the washer and dryer room, and I just bring it in here and I connect it right in here, turn it on, and it starts filling that up. So that gets that thing all filled up. Alright, so now you see what the heck I am doing out here, all the changes that I'm making, all the things that I'm trying to do. So I got project after project after project to do. But that is what I absolutely love. If you guys have any ideas of what I'm doing, if you think of a better way to do it before I do it and mess it up, I would love to have your opinion. Oh, one of the things that I did learn is that on the drippers that I have in each one of the tanks, that I had to puncture a hole in the hose just a little bit because it started a siphon. So when I came in the next day on 6 of my tanks, they were down to the length of the hose, which is about 5 or 6 inches, because it actually started a siphon and siphoned back in there. So be sure you have something there, either a backflow preventive or something to keep that from happening. So I literally just poked a little hole in it. So when water comes out of there, it's not a big deal because it's right over the tank. But that stopped all the siphons in all the tanks. And oh yeah, the other thing, this stand right here, whenever you build in a garage has a natural slant to it, so when water spills, it just runs out the garage. So when I put this one in here and then I looked at the tank was sitting like at an angle. But I built the stand perfectly true because I used a leveling gauge to make sure. So I realized that's why it was. So I had to take, and I had to, if you look down there, I had to take a jack and jack up this end and add that wood, like a quarter of an inch, probably like a ½ inch piece of wood to get this side jacked up. So now that you can see that tank is finally level. So the whole thing is level now after doing that. So that was another lesson learned. So thanks guys again for stopping by. You guys are absolutely awesome. I love each and every one of you. Been thinking about the calendar lately. Haven't decided what I'm gonna do about the calendar. You guys got any interest in me doing that calendar thing again? If you loved it, hated it, whatever, please be sure and leave some comment down below. I love to communicate with you guys. Again, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, and God bless.